We got to cut down the size of government. We got to secure the border. We got to get our justice system back. We have to build up our military. We got to have law and order in the streets. I could go on and on and on. You're going to chase Biden in hopes that his now pardoned son foolishly decides he's not going to testify or makes a lie, and then you're going to have the Justice Department prosecute who? I mean, don't we have things to do? We don't have a lot of time left to save this country. That's my attitude. I want to talk about this pardon that Joe Biden gave his son. Joe Biden gave himself a pardon. I've been talking about this on radio, and now finally some people have picked it up. You know, when Joe Biden issued the pardon about 7:45 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, that's when it was at least announced with his preposterously outrageous, grotesque statement. We were preempted on Fox because it was very important that everybody there give their opinion on the pardons rather than run my show, I guess. But it is what it is. And so I talked about this on Monday, and I said people are not casting this in the right light. You need to understand Hunter Biden was the front guy. Hunter Biden was the go-between. In many ways, the fall guy. His father may love his son, but God knows he exploited him. So let's look at what I said September 22nd, 2023, and let's see, honestly, how close I came to exactly what happened. Go.
But my point to you is this. Of course Joe Biden is going to pardon his son. Even if he loses the election, should he decide to run for re-election like he says he has, there's a period of time between a lame duck president and when you swear in the new president inauguration. He will pardon his son during that break, during that gap. And if he wins re-election, he's got nothing to worry about. He'll pardon his son as well. Now, is he going to pardon his son out of love for his son? Maybe. But why else would he pardon his son, Mr. Producer? To cover his own ass. And not only that, America, he can pardon his son not just for a conviction of certain gun crimes and offenses. He can pardon his son for all tax matters that might be before his regime. For all FARA matters that might be before his regime. In other words, for anything that his son might be facing. And he does that, because he loves his son, maybe. But he does it to protect himself. Who's the main witness against Joe Biden? His son, Hunter. That's why Hunter Biden matters.
So a number of things here. I said you can pardon him for anything he wants. That's what he did. Anything that's happened or may have happened over the course of 11 years. Now, why does he do that? To cover his own ass. That's why. The idea that you would pardon somebody for things that they might have done, by now the statute of limitations would have run on all of that stuff. It was unnecessary unless he would be used as a witness against his father. But Mark, wouldn't the statute of limitations run against his father too? It depends. If his father successfully concealed his activities and the government comes upon it and learns of those activities, it could be that the statute of limitation runs upon the discovery of the crime. And so Joe Biden wanted to make sure he's got good lawyers. They wrote all the stuff for him that he was covered. He was protected, starting with Burisma. As you may recall, Donald Trump got impeached over Burisma. Why? Because he asked Zelensky to look into it. Because Donald Trump had a sense that Joe Biden was a crook. And it started with Burisma. And it did start with Burisma. That whole thing about the big guy getting 10%, that's Burisma. That's Tony Bobulinski. Tony Bobulinski is a very serious witness. He gave 5 hours of testimony to the FBI. They never called him back. He said the big guy was Biden, the 10% was for Biden, that he'd met with Biden for at least 45 minutes, that they set up all this complex sort of intermediary bureaucracy to try and protect Biden. He would have been a perfect witness against Biden, Joe Biden. They got his testimony during the impeachment inquiries on Capitol Hill, and really it was unimpeachable what he was saying. And so Joe Biden skates. And so I'm telling you there because I know Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a pathological liar. Joe Biden lied from the moment he stepped into politics. He lied about his law school test. He lied about his degrees. He lied about his IQ. He lied about his grades, where in the class he graduated. He lies. He lied when he ran for president, the first time of several times, when he stole almost word for word a speech given by Robert Kennedy and a speech given by Neil Kinnock, at that time the head of the Labour Party in Britain. He lied about that. He always lies. He even lied about the border being secure. He lied about the supporting Israel. He just lies. And so when he went on and on and on, I'm not going to pardon my son, I'm not going to pardon my son, I said, he's a liar. He is going to pardon his son. But he's going to pardon his son to cover his ass. And that's exactly what he did. Now you have people saying, okay, that's great. Now the Republicans can call him before their committees, and he can't assert the Fifth Amendment because he's been given a pardon. That is, he can't incriminate himself. The only way he can actually be charged again with a crime is if he lies or if he refuses to testify. If he refuses to testify, they can accuse him of contempt of Congress. Or if he lies, that's a separate offense, lying to Congress. I'm thinking and saying, honestly, what do we have, a 2-vote majority in the House and a handful in the Senate? Don't we have an agenda? I mean, I'm serious. We got to cut down the size of government. We got to secure the border. We got to get our justice system back. We have to build up our military. We got to have law and order in the streets. I could go on and on and on. You're going to chase Biden in hopes that his now pardoned son foolishly decides he's not going to testify or makes a lie, and then you're going to have the Justice Department prosecute who? I mean, don't we have things to do? We don't have a lot of time left to save this country. That's my attitude. We're going to have a hearing. Oh, great. We've never had those before. And what did we get out of these hearings? Absolutely nothing. Reports. Oh, we got a report. We don't need a report. We know Biden's a corrupt mobster. We know the whole damn family's a bunch of corrupt mobsters. What are we going to get a report on? What is it that they hope to do? So once again, they're in the weeds. You know, this. I said pardon. Once again, I'm saying, what are you doing? He's dead politically. He's destroyed himself. This pardon has completely destroyed his legacy, right? So what are you going to get out of it? You're going to have hearings in which the Democrats try to resuscitate his legacy. The Republicans are ineffective in most cases in these hearings. You're not going to get any better than you already have politically. You're not going to get anything legally. They lost. Now, they won in terms of not being prosecuted, but history will treat them the way history should, like dog crap on the bottom of your sneaker. How about we save the country? How about we save the economy? We got a big list of priorities that we got to get to. It's like the impeachment. They tried to bring the nation to create support for impeaching Biden on Burisma and all these financial activities. I said, nobody's going to focus on that. It's almost not understandable to the average person who's living their lives. They're busy. I'm a mechanic. I'm an electrician. I'm a plumber. I'm a surgeon. I'm not paying attention to this bank account or that bank account. Impeach Biden on immigration. How many times did I say that? Impeach him on immigration. He's violating the Constitution. He's not executing the laws. He's destroyed the whole impeachment regimen, all the statutes. He's endangering our country with terrorists, with illegal aliens, with fentanyl. Impeach him for that. That's an impeachable offense. Then the chorus line starts to kick in. The other hosts say, hey, we should impeach him for immigration. Yeah, you think so? Yeah, I think so. And where did that go? Nowhere. Why? Because they screwed it up. They started with the finance. Look, we found this check for $100. Remember that one? Found a check for $100. So we'll hold hearings. Now, don't hold hearings. Get the budget under control. Get the border under control. Get crime under control. Give us our economy back. Defund the terrorists and the terrorist organizations that are destroying our universities and so forth. Do important stuff. And do lasting stuff that will improve this nation. Holding hearings on the Bidens that's chum in the water for the sharks. It's nothing. Holding hearings. I don't like the Bidens. I detest the Bidens. I'm not a special pleader for the Bidens. I'm a special pleader for you. We have a small window with a bare majority in the House, a bare majority in the Senate. Let's do the things we need to do to save this republic, to get our country back. That's Mark's position.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.